This is Darren from Open Road Toyota Richmond, and what I have here is the 2020 RAV4 Hybrid XLE, and I'll be going over all the features to this vehicle and doing a full delivery. For those of you who bought this vehicle and didn't have time to go over it, hopefully this video will help you out. So let's get started. So if you do have this version of the vehicle, it does come with keyless entry. As you can see, you get a smart key right over here. And what this actually does is that instead of having to take it out of your pocket and press the unlock button, what you can actually do is that here, I'll lock it for you right now. As soon as you touch the back of the handle, it will unlock. Just like that. When you open the car, just like this, it would only open just the driver's side. Now, if you wanted to open all the doors, what you actually have to do is, I'll show you, just lock it. Put your hand on the handle, wait for the first beep. You hear one, you just put your hand, just wait. And then the back will open as well, as long as all the other doors. Now, to lock it, very simple. All you have to do is press this, and it locks it up just like that. All right, pretty cool. So this over here makes it so that you can just keep this key in your pocket without having to actually take it out to start your car. Another neat feature is at the back of the vehicle, there's also another smart key button. And as long as you have the key with you, you press and hold for the XLE models, press and hold, and it will go all the way up. As you see, there's two buttons over there. So let me just show you. There are two buttons. There you go. So you see those two buttons over there? You have a wider button over here and a smaller button over here. This button is to lock your car, and this over here, you press and hold, it will open the tailgate. So that's pretty much it for the keyless entry features. Next, I'll be talking about the back. So when you open the trunk, what will happen is that you'll see this little button here. When you press this button, it will come down. Now you press it again, it'll stop. Press it one more time, it will go back. So for those of you who think this is a bit too tall for you, or you have really low ceilings and you're afraid of hitting your ceiling, so what you can actually do is press it, wait for it to come down, press it again, say you like it this height, right over here. If you do like it this height, what you can actually do is set it. So what you can actually do, press and hold, just like this, wait for 4 beeps, and now next time you open it, it will only go up to this high. But if you wanted to put it back, all you have to do, push it up, all the way back up, press and hold, wait for the beeps, and there you go, it's been set back to normal. So also in the back, it does come with the cloth mats as well. These come with your vehicle. Now these are the cloth mats, but usually your sales associate puts in the all-season rubber mats already, so don't double them up. Just put this in storage. If you do double it up, well, you might feel a little bit less space in the vehicle. But this over here, it just comes with the vehicle. It's a lot easier to clean the rubber mats than it is these ones. So other than that, you do have this cover that comes with the vehicle. All right, you can just pull it out. As you can see, sides over here, it's locks in place. So if you plan to store things in your car, you don't want anybody looking into it, then you can definitely put this and cover it. As for removing it, it's very simple. Both sides are spring loaded. So what you can actually do, just hold it here and just pull it. And then the whole thing can come up. So if you want to get rid of it, you can actually put it in storage, but there's a special compartment down here just for that. All right, so right here and right here, and you can actually hide it just right in here. So when you lift this up, you do see your spare tire here right now. There is a wheel lock, jack, toolkit's just right over here. Now this isn't a full-size tire, it is a space saver, but it is fully inflated. Now, if you're afraid of, say if you're gonna be moving things a lot and you're afraid of scratching the cloth, what you can actually do, flip this around and have a more rougher side over here. Other than that, what you can actually do if you want just an extra inch of space, this is actually a flat piece of material right here, as you can see. And what you can actually do is that if you want more space, you can actually put it just right under here, just slip it right in here, and you get an extra inch of space. All right, so that's it for the back, and I'll be moving over to the rear passenger seats. Now I'll be explaining the passenger side at the rear, how to fold down the seats. All right, so to fold down the seats, very simple. You see these latches right over here. Same thing for the other side. When you just pull this up and then push it down, folds down just like that. The other side will also fold down the middle part. All right, and then when you put it back, see that little button right there? If that's gone, that means it's in place. So right now, that means it's in place. If you want it a little bit further back, if you want another inch, what you can actually do is pull this up, push it back, now you get an extra inch of space. You also do get cup holders right in the middle as well. And as for car seats, if you're wondering, you do have a top tether right down here. Also, you have two tethers right here and right there. So they're pretty hidden. So it looks pretty clean just like that. You also get child locks over here. Once this is engaged, no longer you can open the door with this. You'd have to go on the other side to open it. So put this back up and then you're freely able to open the door. So that's pretty much it for the rear. Now let's talk about the driver's side. As for the driver's side, when you open up, what you have is electronic seats. You have these buttons over here, which I'll explain, and then you have these. These are basic window controls. When this is on and you press this, what will happen is that it will be illuminated green. When that is pressed, that means all the other passengers cannot open the window except for you. You get the lock and unlock feature just right over here. This over here is for the mirrors. So if you wanted to move the left mirror, just press on that, move it around. Right, you can move it around too. Other than that, you have electronic seats over here, so I'll explain that. So electronic seats, this over here is to move it forward and back, just like this. The front part would actually move just the front part of the seats. This over here is for the entire seat, so you can move it a bit lower, a bit higher if you'd like. This over here is for the backrest. All right. Other than that, you have this over here. This is for the lumbar support. So when you press this, it actually push the lumbar support back in. All right. So when you push it out, so I'll show you, you can actually see it just bulge out. And this is actually really comfy when you have it. It's like a little cushion support for your back. It's actually really comfy. Other than that, you do have gas cap over here. You press and hold, pops up the gas cap. This over here is for the front hood. Other than that, you have these buttons over here. So I'll explain to you. This over here, you press and hold, back trunk opens up. The only reason why this would not work is that if your car is on, it prevents you from opening it up in case you're driving and you accidentally press it. You press it and it comes back down. Other than that, you have the heated steering wheel over here. Once you press this, from this point to this point and this point to that point will heat up. So it's actually really nice in the wintertime. This over here is for the front windshield wiper de-icer. So it's different from this over here, the front rear fogger. When you press this, what will happen is that just like the lines at the back, to defog the back, what you actually have is in the front, you have these lines. They heat up your wiper blades and melt the ice. So it's perfect for the wintertime. Other than that, you do have the auto high beams right over here. When you press this, what will happen is that if it senses any cars too close to you, what it's going to do is actually going to switch to low beams when you're on the highway. If there's nobody on the road and it's just you, it'll switch back on to high beams. This over here is to dim the interior lights. So for example, you see that right there? Dim it a bit, brighten it. This is what this button's for. So if it's too bright, you can definitely get rid of that. All right, so now I'm going to get in the car and show you all these buttons here. All right, so once you're inside the vehicle, I'm going to turn on the car right here. Push it on. All right, so I'm going to explain these over here, the light controls. So as of now, it's off, but you actually have this auto light feature. Automatically turns on the light when it gets too dark, automatically turns it off when it gets too bright. This over here is for manual half lights, full lights. All right, but it's best to just leave it on auto. Most people do that. It's a lot better that way, so you don't have to worry about it. This over here is for the fog lights. So when you turn it on, you actually get the fog light sign right over there. And that's pretty much it for this. Basic controls right here. Turn this way, signal, signal, the basics. This over here is for the windshield wipers. So this over here, what this is for is that it's to fine tune the settings. So for example, if you push it down to the lowest settings and it's a bit too slow, you can make it a bit faster. Now you push it down again for the fastest setting, it's a bit too fast, so you can slow it down. You have this over here, Now, if you twist this, what's going to happen is that the back windshield wipers will activate. You pull this forward, then water's going to come out the front. You push this outwards, and then the water's going to come out the back. So you also have these buttons over here. So as you know, I turned on the vehicle. You can't actually hear it because this is a hybrid. But if you see that over there, it says ready, that means it's good to drive. All right, so I actually turned on the vehicle. The car is not engaged, but it is ready to drive because it is hybrid. It's really quiet. This over here controls everything on that screen. So up, down, left, right, just like any remote control. You have many different options just right over here. So I'll explain to you some of them. This one over here is the most popular screen, distance to empty and how fast you're going. Right next to it would be if your lane tracing assist is on, you'd see it. So it's just right over here. Once you press this, you'll see that's on. So if that is active, what will happen is when you're going 40 kilometers and above and you step on the white or yellow lines without signaling, it would actually nudge you back into place and warn you that you're departing your lane. So in this case, I'm just going to turn it off. It goes back here. This over here, trip distances. Over here is for the settings. So lane tracing assist, I was talking about that. So if you don't want it to actually steer for you, you can actually turn it off, adjust the sensitivity and all that. Pre-collision system is a PCS system. It is on. Now you can turn it off or on. Highly recommend just keeping that on because that is a safety feature that can help you prevent collisions. You also have the blind spot monitor right there. I turned it off, turn it back on just so you can see the lights. It will be orange. Rear cross traffic alert is like the same thing, but this one's for when you're backing up. So as you're backing up and you see that light turn on or this light. So if this light turns on, that means someone's coming from the right. If that comes on, then that means someone's coming towards left. All right, so that's rear cross traffic alert. So that's when you're backing up. It makes it a lot safer for you. Other than that, you have this over here. Right now it says no messages, but if there's anything going on with your vehicle, this will alert you. So for example, if your key is running low on batteries, low windshield wiper fluids, and etc., they will let you know in detail what's wrong in this over here. So let me just put it back to this screen over here. You also have this, which is for Bluetooth. So when you have your Bluetooth paired up, what you can actually do is press this, pick up calls, press this to hang up the calls. This over here is voice command. When you press it,
before you start,
when it's a brand new car, it will recommend you doing voice training. Voice training is just for if you have an accent or you're not so good at English, what it can do is actually help you out in understanding your voice more and better recognize it. So you have different features like call, tune, show, and browse some music. So it's mainly used for calling people. So you can press this, wait for the beep, and then what you can hear is say call so-and-so, and they'll call for you while you're driving. All right, so you also have shortcut to the volume buttons just right over here. All right, there is a volume knob right here, but this is for, so you can keep your eyes on the road. This over here, cruise control, right over here, used to be down here, but not anymore, they put it on the wheel. So once you press this, we'll say is that cruise control is active. So once this is on, set and resume, the same thing. Now, if you're not familiar with cruise control, I'll explain to you quickly. So if, say, for example, you're going about 90 and you don't want to add any more gas, you're going for a long time, last thing you want to do is just put your foot on the gas for the longest time. What you can actually do is that you press set and you don't have to press on the gas, it'll just go 90. Resume is for increasing the speed once you're on cruise control. There's another feature here called radar. So when you press this, do you see that? 3, I'll press it again. 2, press it again. 1. This represents how far you want to keep the distance between the car in front of you. So for example, this is the furthest distance, the closest distance, and pretty much what will happen is that if the car slows down, you slow down. All right, so other than that, lane tracing assist, I already talked about that. Mode is to select between AM, FM radio, Bluetooth. This is to skip different tracks, and that's pretty much it on the steering wheel. All right, so this is the infotainment system. So right now what you're looking at is the home screen. So usually over here is what will be playing on the radio. This over here, if your phone is connected, this will be your quick dial. This over here just tells you what's being used. So if you press on that, you get a better view of it, of what's being used, either the electric motor or the gasoline engine. So you can also see how full your battery is. So when you press on menu, this is usually where you'd want to access your either your radio, your Bluetooth, really up to you. When you press on audio, it's the same thing as pressing source. When you press audio, say you want to go AM or FM, say you want AM, you can have it just like that. Right now it's on news 1130. So if you want it to be number 1, press and hold, beep selector like that, and then it will save. So if you go to the other over here, see that? 1130, it's been saved. Now you can save up to 36 different presets. Now that is more than enough, but it's great to have options. So press on menu. This over here is for phone. Right now I can't access it because if you're not connected to Bluetooth, it will not show up. So for example, when you are connected to Bluetooth, you'll see your contact list just right over here. And then you can also use it to dial as well. Apps over here is for in-tune apps. So if you don't have a Android device or an Apple device and you want to still connect your phone, what you can actually do is download Intune 3.0 and have that connect to your car. This over here projection is for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So how that works is that if you have an iPhone, you plug your USB right in there, lightning wire into your phone. Make sure to have Siri enabled, because if you don't have Siri, it's not going to work. So when you plug it in there, this will pop up as Apple CarPlay. And when you press on it, this turns the entire screen into your phone, and any compatible apps will be uploaded onto this device. So as for Android Auto, you're going to have to download Android Auto from the Google Play Store. So when that is active, you launch it on your phone, same thing, right in here, press on that, any compatible apps on this device. So usually people use it for Google Maps. So this is a great feature just because Google Maps is, it's a lot of people use Google Maps. It's a lot reliable, updates all the time. So you can definitely have that as an option. So other than that, you have info over here. It just shows you this, what I talked about. Other than that, you have the setup. Setup is for setting up your Bluetooth. This over here is to change your home screen. So right now it's on 3. You can actually change it to 4, 2, really up to you. And then you can actually put in whatever you want. So there's a lot of customizations on the menu tab. You can also get rid of the beeping. Also Bluetooth. If you want to connect your Bluetooth, if you don't know how, press Bluetooth. Just click yes. So you go on your phone, go to the settings, and it'll search for your phone. And then on your phone, press the Toyota RAV4. And then what will happen is that it will ask you to allow. So you're going to allow the setting to go through, because that's allowing the car to be able to make calls and have your contacts on the screen. So that's pretty much it for the infotainment system. Now let's move on to the climate controls. This over here is the climate controls. So this over here is to increase the speed of the fan. You got your front and rear defogger over here. All right. So let me just turn on the light to better see that. There you go. It's illuminated now. This over here. All right. Front defogger, rear defogger. Eco heat and cools to save you a little bit of power on just the climate controls. This over here is to cycle between different fan modes. This is for air recirculation. This one over here is to cut off the vents at the back. So if you like it nice and toasty, but the back is saying, oh, it's too hot, you press this and it will cut off the vents at the back. Other than that, you have dual climate controls. So you can have it hot here, cold here. Now, if you're alone in your car, you don't want to break your wrist just turning this all the time. Press sync, and then it syncs to the driver's side. And from the driver's side, you can adjust the temperature there. You also have AC right over here. Also, automatic fan controls right over here, and this is just to turn it off. Other than that, you have heated seats right down here, high and low sitting. All right, for the driver's side, passenger side. This over here is for turning off traction control. Every car has traction control. This is just to turn it off. One other thing is that you have this over here. All right, so EV mode is electric vehicle mode. So what it does is that if you're driving below 30 and you're not giving that much throttle, what we'll do is actually turn the car just electric driving if your battery's full enough. So mainly used for if it's rush hour traffic, waiting at the border, finding parking, residential areas. You can definitely use this and your car will just be in electric mode. You also have these over here, Eco and Sport. So when you switch it over to Eco, this will actually turn green. Eco mode, you get less acceleration, so it lessens the throttle, but it saves you a lot more gas. Flip it this way, you get Sport mode. Sport mode increases the acceleration. To put it back in normal mode, you press this, goes back just like that. Other than that, trail mode is to go off-roading. It gives it a bit more traction and torque. So what we'll do is that it'll give more power to all the wheels. You also have this over here, automatic parking brake. You don't actually have to press it or pull it. As soon as you put into drive, which I'll do right now, put into drive, turns off by itself. Put it back into park, it'll turn back on. Other than that, you got this over here, which is a really neat feature in my opinion. I really like this. This is the brake hold feature. So if you want to use that feature, you have to have two things. First, seatbelt has to be on. So let me just get that. Just the driver's seatbelt. You don't need any other seatbelt, just the driver's seatbelt. For an example, you know, it's good to have all the seatbelts on, but just for this example, I'll put my seatbelt on. Also, the doors all have to be closed. So if like say the gas cap's open or the front hood is open, it will not work. So I'm going to press this right here and you're going to see it pop up on the screen. So the green means it's active. So I'm going to put into drive and you'll see that amber light over there says orange. So that means it's holding the brakes for you. So right now the car is in drive. My foot is off the gas and the brakes. So as soon as you give it a little bit of gas, so I'll show you, I'm going to move the car forward. As soon as you give it just a little bit of gas, it will go forward. As soon as you come to a complete stop, it'll hold it for you again. All right, so I'm gonna put the car back in reverse. All right, so complete stop, and then has to be in drive. You can't actually use the brake hold feature in reverse, has to be in drive only. So if you want to turn that off, you have to manually press it and then it'll turn off, just like that. All right, so last thing is that you have these controls over here. So light switch controls, you got left light, right light, both lights right in the middle. And then this over here, door. This over here, when you press this, open the door, lights turn on. All right, so this over here is manual, so you're gonna have to lift it up yourself. But when you open the sunroof, opens up just like that. All right, push it and it closes it. This one over here is to tilt it. So just like that, tilt it. If it's raining, you still want to breathe, you can definitely do that. All right, so I'm going to close that. And that's pretty much it for all those buttons in the car. You also have an instruction manual down here as well. All right, so if you need more information, definitely take a look at that. Other than that, that's pretty much it to this vehicle. Hopefully this helped you out. And again, my name is Darren from Open Road Toyota Richmond. If you have any questions regarding your new vehicle, feel free to give us a call and we'll be happy to help you out. So that being said, hope you have a great day and enjoy your new car.